This looks like another billionaire estate. Private road, heavy security, but something unusual waits behind the mansion. From above, the estate looks enormous. The mansion sits quietly in the center, but behind it, something massive begins to appear. Most backyards end with a garden. This one keeps going. The path stretches farther than expected. Then the landscape suddenly opens. The land stretches wide, and water appears on the horizon. At first, it looks like a lake, calm water, endless reflections, but something about the edges feels engineered. Lakes don't have service roads, lakes don't have engineered walls, and lakes definitely don't belong behind mansions. And that's when the truth becomes clear. This isn't a lake, it's a pool. A pool so massive your eyes struggle to measure it, bigger than many lakes people grow up swimming in. Standing here changes your sense of scale. The water stretches across acres of land. But the size isn't the real mystery. The real mystery is why someone built it. Years ago, this land looked completely different. It was empty terrain stretching across the coastline. Then one billionaire bought the entire area. Within months, construction machines arrived from across the world. At first, locals believed it was another luxury project, maybe a resort, maybe a marina, but the excavation kept growing, deeper, wider, stranger. Eventually, the project revealed its shape. Engineers weren't building a lake, they were building a pool on a scale nobody had attempted before. Thousands of workers participated in the project, but almost none of them understood the final design. Each team worked on isolated sections. The full blueprint remained locked away. When the structure was finally complete, the next step began, filling it. Millions of gallons of crystal clear water slowly transformed concrete into something unbelievable. Days passed as the water level rose, then weeks. Eventually, the basin disappeared beneath a massive mirror of blue. By the time the filling process ended, the results shocked everyone who saw it. The pool stretched farther than many natural lakes, and the estate around it suddenly made sense. For the billionaire who built it, the pool wasn't just a luxury feature, it was a statement, a symbol of scale, a demonstration of what unlimited resources can achieve. Standing next to the water, the scale becomes overwhelming. The opposite edge looks like a distant shoreline. Waves move slowly across the surface, almost like a real lake breathing in the sun. But every ripple here is controlled. Every inch of this water exists because someone decided to build the impossible. The perimeter of the pool stretches for miles. Service roads run quietly along the edge. Engineers monitor water systems every day, because maintaining something this large requires the same precision as managing a small city. Beneath the surface, the engineering becomes even more extreme. Giant filtration systems move millions of gallons of water every hour. Pumps operate continuously, hidden deep below the estate. Without them, the entire structure would slowly turn into a stagnant lake. From the sky, the illusion becomes clear. This isn't simply a pool anymore. It's an artificial body of water built with billionaire ambition. A private lake created by engineering rather than nature. Visitors often stop speaking when they see it for the first time. Even experienced architects struggle to process the scale, because nothing in normal residential design comes close to this level of excess. But the pool was never built just to impress visitors. The billionaire who funded it had a different vision. For him, size alone was never enough. The real goal was something far more personal. Yes, even small boats move across this water. The pool is large enough to allow controlled navigation. What looks like a decorative feature is actually an entire private ecosystem of water and engineering. Floating docks appear along certain sections of the perimeter. Maintenance teams move quietly across them every day. Their job is to keep the water calm, clear, and perfectly balanced. From this height, the mansion begins to look small. The estate itself fades into the background. What dominates the entire landscape is the water. Occasionally, powerful guests arrive by helicopter, investors, world leaders, celebrities, but even they are rarely allowed to explore the entire estate. Large sections around the pool remain restricted. Access requires biometric authorization, and many parts of the estate are permanently off-limits to visitors. The few people allowed inside the observation lounge usually stand silent for several minutes. The view stretches endlessly across the water. It's the kind of sight that forces the brain to question reality. Most pools end where the property ends. This one creates its own horizon. Standing here feels less like visiting a house and more like standing beside a private sea. Even underwater, the structure continues for hundreds of meters. Reinforced walls support the enormous pressure of the water. The engineering here rivals large public infrastructure projects. But despite its size, the estate remains incredibly private. Most people in the world have never heard about this place, and the billionaire behind it rarely discusses it publicly. For him, this pool represents something deeper than wealth. It's proof that limits exist only for people who accept them. When resources become infinite, imagination becomes architecture. But this enormous pool is only the beginning of the story, because hidden beneath this water lies the real secret of the estate. And that secret will change everything in. From above, the pool stretches like an artificial ocean. The water moves slowly across the enormous surface. Patrol boats circle the perimeter every day, because controlling something this large requires constant monitoring. What looks peaceful from a distance is actually a highly engineered system. The perimeter of the pool extends for an incredible distance. Engineers built service roads around the entire structure. These roads allow maintenance teams to constantly inspect the water. Even a small imbalance could affect millions of gallons. Managing this pool requires the same discipline as running a small city. Hidden beneath the estate lies the true heart of the system. Giant pumps move millions of gallons of water every hour. Without these machines, the pool would slowly become stagnant. The underground facility operates day and night. Most visitors never realize an entire engineering complex exists beneath their feet. From high above, the scale becomes almost unbelievable. The pool dominates the entire landscape. Even the mansion begins to look small next to the water. This was never meant to be a normal luxury feature. It was designed to reshape the entire property. The billionaire who built this rarely speaks about it. He prefers to walk the perimeter alone, watching the water move across the surface. For him, this project represents more than wealth. It represents the ability to build something the world believes is impossible. Standing beside this pool changes your perception of scale. The opposite edge looks like a distant shoreline. Small boats move across the water like they would on a lake. The illusion becomes almost perfect. Nature and engineering begin to blur together. Occasionally, powerful visitors arrive by helicopter, investors, celebrities, and global leaders. Each of them expects luxury when they arrive, but nothing prepares them for the scale of this water. The first reaction is always silence. People stop walking when they reach the edge. The water stretches farther than their eyes expect, and the realization slowly hits them. This is not decoration. Every ripple across the pool is carefully controlled. Engineers designed the basin to prevent strong currents. The water remains calm even across enormous distances. It behaves like a natural lake, but every detail is artificial. But the pool has another purpose, one that very few visitors understand. Beneath the water lies a hidden structure. And that structure is what makes this estate truly unique. The deeper you explore the estate, the more this pool begins to feel like a private ocean. The far edge looks almost unreachable from where you stand. Patrol boats move slowly across the surface, watching every corner. Nothing here is left uncontrolled. Even the water itself is carefully monitored. Floating docks extend across different sections of the pool. Maintenance crews walk along them every morning. They inspect sensors hidden inside the structure, because something this large must always stay perfectly balanced. Beneath the calm surface, the structure becomes even more impressive. Reinforced walls stretch across hundreds of meters. Divers inspect these walls regularly because the pressure of millions of gallons of water never stops pushing. Deep underground, the true engine of the pool operates non-stop. Massive pumps circulate water across the entire basin. The filtration system is larger than those used in many public water parks. Without it, the pool would quickly lose its perfect clarity. From the air, the estate begins to look smaller and smaller. The pool dominates the entire landscape. It becomes clear that the mansion was never the main attraction. The water is the true centerpiece of the property. For the billionaire who built it, this pool represents control, the ability to reshape nature itself. Standing beside the water, he often studies the horizon quietly, because this project took years of planning and unimaginable resources. Even helicopters create visible waves when they fly low across the surface. The water reacts like a natural lake would. Yet every drop here was engineered by design. It's a perfect illusion of nature. Some visitors are allowed to see the pool from the observation deck. From there, the scale becomes overwhelming. The water stretches across acres of private land. It's the kind of sight that forces people to pause and stare. But not every section of the estate is open to visitors. Large areas around the pool remain restricted. Security patrols move constantly across these zones, and access requires biometric clearance. Beyond those gates lies another layer of infrastructure, systems that help maintain the enormous water structure. Engineers and technicians work here every day, but they rarely talk about what they see. The deeper the divers go, the stranger the structure becomes. The floor of the pool isn't perfectly flat. Large reinforced shapes appear beneath the surface. Their purpose remains unknown to most of the staff. Sometimes maintenance teams travel to the center of the water. It takes several minutes just to reach that point. Standing there, surrounded by water in every direction, feels almost surreal. Floating platforms allow engineers to monitor conditions in the deepest sections. Sensors measure water pressure and temperature constantly. Every system here operates with military precision. From his private balcony, the billionaire often watches the entire system quietly. The pool stretches across the land like a private sea. Few people in history have ever controlled a body of water this large. From the sky, the project becomes almost unbelievable. The estate fades into the background. What remains visible is the giant pool dominating the landscape. Security patrols the water just as they patrol the land. Boats move quietly across the surface every hour. Nothing enters or leaves without permission. Divers often return with new data about the structure below. Engineers analyze every detail carefully, because something hidden beneath the pool requires constant attention. Walking along the far perimeter takes a long time. The water never seems to end. The illusion of standing beside a lake becomes almost perfect. Even aerial footage struggles to capture the full scale. The pool stretches across acres of land. It was never meant to be small. Sometimes the billionaire walks out toward the center of the water, standing there, surrounded by silence, watching the horizon his engineers created. From a distance, the dock begins to look tiny. The billionaire becomes just a small figure surrounded by endless water, and the illusion of a private sea becomes complete. And that's when the deeper secret begins to appear. Beneath the pool, something massive sits hidden below the surface. Divers approach the structure carefully. Its design looks nothing like a normal pool foundation. Something larger lies beneath the water. The surface hides more than just water. Hidden engineering stretches across the entire basin, and the true purpose of the pool is still waiting to be revealed. Because this giant pool was never just about luxury. Something powerful lies beneath the water, and that secret will finally be revealed in... From the surface, the giant pool looks peaceful and silent. Sunlight reflects across the water like a perfect mirror. Patrol boats quietly move across the enormous basin. Security teams continue their routine patrol along the edges. To any visitor, the place looks like nothing more than an extravagant luxury feature. But the truth hidden beneath the water tells a completely different story. Because far below the surface, an entire hidden world exists beneath this pool. A group of divers slowly descends beneath the water. The bright sunlight above fades as they move deeper into the basin. The pool is far deeper than most people would ever imagine. Massive reinforced walls surround the underwater structure. Every meter downward reveals more of the engineering hidden below, and slowly, giant shadows begin to appear beneath them. Something enormous lies on the floor of the pool. Their lights finally reveal the structure hidden below. It stretches across the center of the pool like a submerged fortress. Thick reinforced steel plates cover its surface. Engineers built it to withstand incredible pressure from the water above. The structure clearly wasn't built simply to support the pool. Its design suggests something much more complex. Above the surface, a maintenance boat moves quietly toward the center of the pool. The crew appears calm and focused. They know exactly where they are going. Beneath them lies the hidden platform connected to the underground facility. The boat stops directly above the center point, and then something unexpected begins to happen. The water begins to move violently around the boat. Hidden mechanical systems activate beneath the pool floor. Slowly, a giant circular platform rises toward the surface. Water pours off the steel structure as it emerges from below. The platform locks into position above the waterline. What looked like a natural pool just moments ago suddenly reveals a hidden entrance. The massive platform continues rising until it fully locks into place above the surface of the water. What looked like a normal pool seconds ago now reveals something entirely different. Thick, reinforced steel plates form a circular landing structure at the center. Water continues flowing down its sides like a waterfall. The engineering behind this mechanism is almost impossible to imagine. Beneath the platform lies the true entrance to the underground complex, and the entire system was designed to stay completely invisible. Moments later, the sound of rotor blades begins echoing across the estate. A helicopter approaches from the distance and flies toward the center of the water. Security teams prepare the landing zone immediately. The aircraft descends slowly onto the raised platform. As the rotor wind pushes waves across the surface, the billionaire steps out calmly. This is not a surprise to him. It is exactly why this entire pool was built. The billionaire walks calmly across the steel surface. Security teams follow several steps behind him. In the center of the platform lies a reinforced hatch almost invisible to the eye. The structure looks more like the entrance to a military facility than a luxury project. For years, the world believed this pool was built for extravagance. But the truth lies hidden beneath the water. The hatch slowly slides open with a deep mechanical sound. Beneath it appears a giant elevator shaft illuminated by bright lights. The platform reveals an entrance descending deep below the waterline. Reinforced walls protect the shaft from the pressure of the pool above. The billionaire steps forward without hesitation, because this hidden world belongs entirely to him. The elevator begins descending slowly into the depths below the pool. The surface world disappears above them as the shaft grows darker. Reinforced walls slide past the camera as the platform moves downward. Millions of gallons of water sit above this hidden structure, yet the engineering holds perfectly. The deeper the elevator travels, the more obvious it becomes that this pool was only the entrance. The elevator finally stops, and the doors slide open. A long tunnel stretches forward beneath the estate. Bright industrial lights illuminate the enormous underground corridor. Electric vehicles move quietly through the passageway. Workers travel between different sectors of the hidden complex. This underground system is far larger than anyone would expect. At the center of the facility sits a massive operations room. Walls of screens display every system running beneath the pool. Engineers monitor water pressure, filtration, and structural stability. Every sensor in the complex feeds information to this control center. The entire estate depends on this hidden infrastructure. Huge pipelines stretch across the underground chambers. These systems circulate millions of gallons of water every hour. The filtration network is larger than most public water parks. Engineers built multiple backup systems to guarantee stability, because the pool above protects something far more important than luxury. Beyond the control room lies a restricted corridor guarded by biometric scanners. Only a handful of people can enter these deeper levels. Even most engineers are not allowed beyond this point. The billionaire designed the system with multiple layers of secrecy. Every door leads closer to the real purpose of the pool. The corridor finally opens into a gigantic underground chamber. Water fills a hidden harbor beneath the estate. Reinforced steel platforms surround the docking area. The space is large enough to hold enormous vessels, and suddenly the purpose of the giant pool above becomes clear. A sleek, private submarine glides silently into the chamber. The vessel moves slowly through the water toward the docking platform. Only a few people in the world own machines like this. The billionaire watches quietly from above. Technicians move quickly around the vessel as it locks into position. Mechanical arms secure the submarine with precision. Water slowly drains from the docking locks. Every movement inside this chamber is carefully controlled. The billionaire walks slowly across the steel bridge above the dock. Below him rests the vessel hidden beneath the pool. Years of planning led to this moment. The giant pool above was never built for luxury. It was built to hide an entire underground gateway. From the steel walkway above the dock, the entire chamber becomes visible. The submarine rests quietly beneath the lights of the facility. Workers move with precise coordination across the lower platforms. Every operation inside this hidden harbor follows a strict system. The billionaire pauses and looks down at the vessel. For years, the outside world believed this estate was simply another luxury property. But beneath the water lies one of the most secretive private infrastructures ever built. Engineers begin activating the next stage of the system. Massive hydraulic gates start moving slowly at the far end of the chamber. Warning lights flash across the control panels as the machinery engages. The gates protect a tunnel leading far beyond the estate. As the mechanism opens, water begins flowing toward the dark passage. The underwater gateway connecting the facility to the ocean is coming online. The submarine begins moving forward again. Its engines push the vessel quietly toward the tunnel entrance. Lights along the passage illuminate the dark water ahead. The engineering behind this structure becomes clear as the submarine enters the underwater corridor. This hidden route allows travel directly to the ocean, and from above, nothing on the surface reveals that such a gateway exists. The tunnel stretches for hundreds of meters beneath the coastline. Reinforced concrete walls protect the passage from ocean pressure. Powerful pumps regulate the water flow inside the corridor. As the submarine moves forward, the tunnel lights activate one section at a time. The entire system feels more like military infrastructure than a private luxury project, yet it was built entirely by a single billionaire. Back in the control room, engineers monitor the submarine's journey in real time. Large digital displays show every section of the tunnel network. Technicians adjust navigation systems to guide the vessel safely through the passage. Security teams watch surveillance feeds from every angle. The entire operation runs with extreme precision. Only a few trusted individuals even know this facility exists. Ahead of the submarine, the end of the tunnel begins to appear. Faint light from the open ocean reaches the vessel's sensors. Engineers activate the final exit gate, protecting the hidden passage. The reinforced doors slowly move apart. Beyond them lies the vast ocean, completely unaware of the secret tunnel below the estate. The submarine glides out into the open ocean. Waves move across the surface above the hidden exit point. Within seconds, the vessel disappears beneath the sea. No ship or satellite would ever detect where it came from. The underground route remains perfectly concealed. As soon as the vessel clears the passage, the tunnel begins sealing again. Massive mechanical gates slide back into position. Heavy locks secure the structure completely. Within minutes, the entrance becomes invisible once more. The ocean above returns to its normal rhythm. Back in the underground complex, engineers begin shutting down operational systems. The monitors slowly return to standby mode. Technicians leave their stations after completing the final checks. The entire facility becomes quiet again. The hidden operation is finished for now. The billionaire walks calmly through the underground corridor. His security team follows a few steps behind. The operation has ended exactly as planned. The hidden gateway beneath the pool worked perfectly, once again. For him, this facility represents absolute freedom of movement. The elevator begins its slow journey back toward the surface. Reinforced walls pass silently around the platform. Millions of gallons of water rest above the hidden shaft. Yet the structure holds perfectly. Within moments, the underground world disappears beneath them again. The platform slowly sinks beneath the water once again. The hidden entrance disappears below the surface. Within seconds, the pool returns to its peaceful appearance. Anyone looking at it now would see nothing unusual, just a massive luxury pool stretching across the estate. From above, the pool looks completely peaceful again. Sunlight reflects across the enormous water surface. Patrol boats continue their normal routes around the perimeter. Nothing reveals the hidden world beneath the water. The billionaire stands quietly beside the edge of the pool. He watches the calm water stretch across the estate. No one outside this property knows what lies beneath the surface. The secret remains perfectly hidden. From the sky, the estate looks like a peaceful private paradise. The giant pool dominates the landscape. No satellite image would ever reveal the underground complex below. The estate slowly fades into the distance as the camera rises higher. What remains visible is the enormous body of water behind the mansion. A pool so large it resembles a natural lake. Yet its true purpose remains hidden below. Because this pool was never built just for luxury. It was built to hide something extraordinary beneath the water. A secret gateway few people on Earth will ever see. And the final chapter of this story is about to begin in From the surface, everything looks peaceful again. The water stretches across the estate like a calm, artificial sea. Patrol boats continue their silent routes across the giant pool. Visitors standing nearby would only see luxury and beauty. But beneath the water lies one of the most sophisticated private systems ever built, a hidden network connecting land, sea, and secrecy. And the billionaire who built it understands something most people never will. The billionaire walks slowly along the edge of the water. From this height, the pool looks almost endless. Standing here feels like looking across a private ocean. Years ago, this land was empty and forgotten. Today, it hides one of the most ambitious private constructions on Earth. Every drop of water in this pool protects the secret beneath it. From the sky, the scale becomes almost unbelievable. The pool dominates the entire property. Even the mansion looks small beside the water. What once seemed like an extravagant luxury now reveals a deeper purpose. This structure was designed to control access to something hidden beneath. Deep beneath the estate, the control center continues operating quietly. Engineers monitor the underwater gateway systems. Navigation routes appear on massive digital screens. Every movement beneath the pool remains under constant observation. This underground complex connects the estate to a global network of hidden routes. Beneath the pool, the hidden gateway remains sealed once again. The reinforced tunnel lies quietly beneath the water. Divers occasionally inspect the structure to ensure everything remains stable. This underwater route connects the estate to the open ocean far beyond the coastline. From above, the pool still looks like a peaceful lake placed in the middle of a billionaire estate. Sunlight dances across the surface as gentle waves move toward the edge. Security boats patrol the water with quiet precision. To any outsider, this scene appears calm, luxurious, almost surreal. Yet the deeper truth of this place remains hidden below the waterline. The pool is not just a display of wealth, it is a carefully engineered shield protecting something extraordinary. The billionaire walks slowly along the edge of the giant pool. Each step echoes softly across the stone walkway. From here, the water stretches toward the horizon like a private ocean. For most people, a project like this would represent the peak of luxury, but for him, it represents something else entirely. It represents control, independence, and absolute privacy, a world where he decides the rules. From the sky, the true scale becomes impossible to ignore. The pool dominates the entire property like an artificial sea. The mansion appears almost small beside it. Few people on Earth have ever controlled a body of water this large, but this estate was never designed for attention. It was designed for secrecy. Deep below the surface, the underground command center remains active. Engineers quietly observe every system beneath the pool. Digital maps track navigation routes across distant oceans. Massive servers process constant streams of data. The entire complex functions like a hidden control hub for the billionaire's private network. Above them, millions of gallons of water keep the facility invisible. Far below the calm surface, the tunnel entrance rests in silence. Massive reinforced gates block the passage leading to the ocean. Divers inspect the structure regularly. The tunnel represents the true purpose of the pool above. Without the enormous water basin, the gateway could never remain hidden. Inside the mansion, the billionaire steps into a private observation room. Floor-to-ceiling glass walls overlook the giant pool outside. The water reflects the sky like a perfect mirror. Few people ever see this view from inside the estate. From here, the entire illusion appears flawless, a massive luxury pool hiding a secret beneath. He walks through the silent corridor and steps out onto the terrace. The wind carries the scent of water across the estate. From this height, the horizon of the pool looks endless. Years ago, this entire place existed only as an idea. Today, it stands as one of the most ambitious private projects ever built. Water flows gently across the infinity edge, disappearing beyond the horizon line. The design creates the illusion that the pool merges with the sky. From certain angles, the boundary between water and air disappears completely. This visual trick makes the pool feel even larger than it already is. Security teams continue monitoring every corner of the pool. Patrol boats move quickly across the enormous surface. Communication signals travel constantly between teams. Because secrecy here is more valuable than luxury itself, a helicopter crosses the sky above the estate. Its rotor wind sends waves racing across the water. Even small movements can ripple across something this large. Yet the system below remains perfectly stable. the billionaire stands quietly at the edge of the water. He watches the horizon he created with his own resources. Few people on Earth could imagine building something like this. Yet for him, it was simply another step toward absolute independence. The camera slowly pulls away from the edge of the pool. What once seemed enormous from the ground now appears even larger from above. The estate fades into the background while the water dominates the landscape. From high above, the estate finally appears small against the vast landscape. The giant pool remains the most visible feature for miles. To the outside world, it will always look like an extravagant luxury. But only a few people know what lies beneath the water. As the sun begins to descend, the entire pool turns golden. Light spreads across the water like a sheet of molten glass. From this distance, the pool looks like a natural lake surrounded by luxury. But the billionaire standing beside it knows the truth. Beneath this peaceful surface lies an engineering masterpiece hidden from the world. He stands silently as the horizon changes color. The estate becomes quiet as the evening approaches. Security teams continue their patrol far behind him. But at this moment, the billionaire is completely alone with the view he created. From the sky, the scale of the pool becomes even more unbelievable. The water stretches across acres of land. What once looked like a backyard feature now resembles a private sea. Deep beneath the estate, the underground control center continues operating quietly. Engineers monitor the sealed underwater tunnel systems. Digital maps track routes across distant oceans. The entire complex remains hidden beneath the water above. Beneath the calm surface of the pool, the tunnel remains sealed once again. The hidden gateway rests quietly beneath the water. No one standing above would ever suspect what lies below. The billionaire slowly turns away from the edge of the pool. Behind him, the water continues reflecting the colors of the sunset. The illusion of a peaceful lake remains perfect. As evening falls, lights slowly begin appearing around the estate. The giant pool glows softly under hidden illumination systems. From the sky, the property now looks like a private paradise. At night, the pool transforms into something even more surreal. The surface reflects the lights of the estate like a mirror. Waves move slowly across the enormous basin. Inside the mansion, the corridors remain silent. Large glass windows reveal the glowing pool outside. Reflections of water dance across the walls. From the observation room, he looks out across the illuminated water. Few people on Earth will ever understand what lies beneath this pool. From the sky, the estate now looks like a glowing island in the darkness. The giant pool dominates the entire landscape. As the camera rises higher, the estate slowly fades into the distance. The enormous pool remains visible even from far above. From this distance, the estate becomes just another point of light in the darkness. Yet beneath that light lies a secret world few will ever see. The pool reflects the stars above like a second sky beneath the surface. The illusion is perfect. And somewhere beneath that calm water lies the billionaire's greatest secret. A secret hidden beneath millions of gallons of water. Because sometimes the greatest displays of wealth are not the things the world can see, but the secrets hidden beneath the surface.